Hello, Taylor Ellwood, your mad scientist and magical experimenter at Magical Experiments. And in fact, I have a new t-shirt today, Mad Science plus Magic equals Magical Experiments. So I want to talk a little bit about the mad science end of that equation. The magic end is fairly obvious, but I've always thought of myself as a bit of a mad scientist. It's true, I don't have a degree in physics or biology or chemistry. But what's also true is that I like to apply hard sciences and also social sciences to what it is that I do when I practice magic. So whether it's physics or biology or psychology or literacy studies, I like to take these different disciplines and apply them to magic. And the reason I like to do that is because I feel like they have valuable ideas and concepts that can be applied to magic. Now, I want to make it very clear, I'm not trying to make magic into a science. I'm not trying to psychologize magic. I'm not trying to do any of that. But what I'm trying to do is really look at these different disciplines, see what it is that they have to see or say what techniques they have, and see how those techniques and those ideas can be applied to magic. So for example, if we look at cultural studies, a big part of how I've approached pop culture magic is looking at fans and how people have become fans and what fans do. Now, you could say, well, you could just go to any average con and you'd be able to see that for yourself. Well, true. But by taking the time to learn about cultural studies and look at pop culture through that lens, I've been able to develop some ideas and concepts in pop culture magic that wouldn't have been there otherwise. So I think it's really important as a magician that we keep our minds open to not just looking at different books on occultism and paganism. I mean, hey, great, those books are important and they have value. But we also need to look at more than just that. We need to look at books that get us outside of our comfort box. Books that are looking at different aspects of life that are still relevant to us. So it can be useful, for example, to look at a book on the physics of space and time, or to read a book on business and see how that can be applied to wealth magic. And that's where, for me, the mad scientist comes into play, because a mad scientist doesn't go by the rules of the normal scientist. And in fact, he breaks the rules. He's willing to go and do things differently than the regular scientist would. And I should say not just he, but they, she, whatever pronoun you want to use. But for me, it's he, because that's who I am. So, point is that you can be a mad scientist too. Don't limit yourself to the obvious occult lore and information that's out there. It's valuable, but expand your horizons. That's what I've done, and it's why I've been able to put together some great books like Space-Time Magic or Inner Alchemy, because I've looked at what neuroscience or physics has had to offer. I've looked at what the anthropology of space and the anthropology of time has to offer on how to understand these various concepts. And then I've taken that and smacked it into magic and experimented. And that's why I'm a magical experimenter. So, go out there and I challenge you to pick up some books that are not overtly occult and see what you can do to apply them to your magical work. Thanks for watching, and if you've got some book recommendations or some ideas on how you can be a mad scientist, leave a comment below. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe. Thanks.